Hello, everyone. Ooh, my throat sounds real scratchy, y'all. I've been sick for a little bit. I just dropped my little Rugrats off at school. I'm jacked up on my coffee this morning, so I'm ready to do all the things. But I wanted to do a quick video about why I moved to the projects. I know some people, probably see some of my videos and why in the world would you move your children to the projects and stuff like that. And that's a reasonable question to ask. Nobody looks at the projects yay, let's move to the projects. That definitely was not my case. I've never been the type of person who thought the projects were cool, or being from the hood was cool, or being in a gang, or just hood affiliated. That has never been my style. I'm not judging anybody, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, but I never really understood why people claimed to be from poverty. Not that you have to hide where you're from, but I don't know, some people are weird about it. They act they're bragging about being from Hollywood or something. And for me, I always viewed moving to the projects as a failure. If I have to move me and my children to the projects, then I have failed as a mom, I failed as a person, and that's just my truth. And I really felt like that. So I did everything I could to avoid moving here. I really truly felt like if I worked hard enough that I could avoid having to move to the project. But the thing is that I couldn't survive. I would get a home and I would have enough money for those basics, and I can never pay the bills, y'all. I can't express how many times my utilities have been turned off, or I've even gotten evicted a few times. That's just the truth. It's been rough moving to the projects. I didn't want to do it, but I knew that I couldn't keep living my life the way I was. I've worked jobs where I've worked 24-hour shifts. I've worked jobs where I worked 7 days a week for months, several months. I've worked jobs where I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, and that was just the norm. And in some of those 60 to 80 hour weeks, I was working 90 hours. So when it came time to making the decision to move to the projects, it wasn't an easy one. I had to put my pride aside. I had to look out for what was best for my future, and what moving to the projects, how it could benefit me. And so it was rough at first, but after I really just thought about it, it was I felt better knowing that I did do everything I could do. There was nothing else I couldn't have done. There's nothing, literally nothing else I could have done outside of working 2 to 3 jobs and never seeing my kids. And my thing is, I know a lot of people that's just their story. Oh, I work 2 to 3 jobs and I take care of my kids and I don't have assistance. And that's great. If that's the road you want to take, by all means take it. I'm not judging you, because my thing is we all got to parent our own different way. And some people, they would rather work 2 to 3 jobs and say, I do this myself and I take care of my kids, and they don't get to see their children often, and they're cool with that. Like I said, I'm not judging, but me, myself, I'll say this. I don't regret moving to the projects so that I could go back to school, and I also get to be a mom, actually get to parent my child. I'm engaged with my kids every day. I cook dinner. I'm at home with them. We're much closer now than when we were before, and so those are the things that I value. I value being able to do what I have to do. I go to school while they are at school, and then I come home. I understand that everybody doesn't have this option, and it's not an easy one to make, but I do not regret it. I was so afraid when I first moved to the projects. I got my project housing in July of 2018. I did not actually move in until October 2018 because I was just so scared. I was so terrified because I had lived with a friend in the projects before, but it was like a month, and it wasn't like, I don't know. I moved in more so to help her, and then she, like, it was weird. But, you know, I just didn't want any issues. Now, since I've been living in the projects, I'm grateful because I get to actually spend time with my kids. I get to go eat lunch with them. I get to go to school functions. I also get to go to school. That's the biggest thing for me. What sold me on going ahead and moving here is that I get to actually further my education. And I know a lot of people are like, you know, education is not going to guarantee you a job, like a career. And my thing is, neither is a job here. Like, I live in Tennessee. In many states, I'm finding out they don't have to have a reason to fire you. They could just fire you. And then what is that? Like, I just know that this is the way that I have to go. You know, we all have our own journey to take. And I know this one is the one that I have to take to get to where I'm supposed to go and do what I have to do. Since moving here, this is the closest I've come to living. When I think back on my early adulthood up until about maybe 27, I was not living. Like, my whole entire life was just stress. I was way more impatient with my kids. I was just stressed. I was just constantly at a place of chaos. Like, you know, I feel like when you're working as hard as you can and you still can't keep the lights on, you still can't keep food on the table. Mind you, you know, I'm working, but people automatically assume just because you have multiple kids that you automatically get, you know, all these benefits and stuff like that. And it's just not that way. If you make too much, it doesn't matter how many kids you have, you cannot get assistance. I made too much to qualify for anything to help me, but I didn't make enough to live. And so it was just a constant battle of not having enough, a constant just circle. It was just a constant lack. I don't have enough, you know, I don't have enough. And then when my kids started getting older, it's like, you know, now they know that if they come home, water's supposed to be on, and if water's not on, well, what's going on? I was just like, enough. Like, I can't live like this. I can't keep going on like this. Now, I can say that, you know, and while life has gotten easier, I know that this is not where I'm meant to be. I'm coming up on 2 years of living in the projects come July, and I'll actually be graduating this May. So I'm grateful for that. I'm not ashamed of, like, this being part of my story, because, like, I know that I'm coming here, I'm doing what I got to do, and then I'm leaving so that the next person can benefit from being able to build themselves up. I think where people, like, mess up at is, like, they probably did the same thing I did, you know, work their butt off, try to avoid moving to the projects, end up moving to the projects, and then just that sense of being able to live, you know, you don't want to give that up. You don't want to, you know, you get comfortable. It feels good to be able to live, but I don't want to live like this forever. And so, while I'm grateful for being able to live here, and I'm grateful for a chance at being able to build myself up, I know that I can't stay here longer than what I need to. So I will be moving, hopefully sometime this year. The plan is this year to get out. But y'all, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.